a trait of personality. In fact, I was also diagnosed with this personality few years back, but I was fortunate enough, not because I was into my high school, so that is why it didn't go that much at that higher scale. At very early
In
stage, it
your
was
teen in
diagnosed.
sorry to
So
interrupt,
I,
like in your teenage itself you got like
yes,
addressed with that. In your adolescent age itself it was
yes,
addressed like.
yes. So, firstly, thank you so much for being part of our episode, our show called Being Healers. And I, author Nandini Mahajan, am welcoming you on this episode. So, Arun, firstly, I want you to introduce yourself. Who is Arun and what's your life all about?
Once again, thank you, Nandini, for inviting me into Being Healers platform. And myself, Arun C. Michael. I am working in the field of environmental engineering, and I have gone through like a certain kind of life events that I want to share with you. And I'm extremely grateful that you like invited me into this platform because I want to spread the message about mental health and other stuff because people are having worries and problems in their life. So I just want to help them out through my life story. Thank you, Nandini.
Right. So, Arun, firstly, let's have a short glimpse about your story. I want you firstly to tell people how your mental health got into trouble, what was the reason, and how you managed in that situation. Firstly, I want you to brief us about your mental health and what triggered it and for how long it
See,
was
the
with you.
main thing or main concern I want to share to the audience is like I want to find the people who are clinically called high sensitivity or highly sensitive personalities. So in clinical psychology, like
Mm-hmm.
we call them HSPs. So in a country like India,
Okay.
nothing like mental health exists here. Like people are not getting treatment or not willingly going for any mental health treatment, counseling. In
Mm-hmm.
colleges, it happens like if the student has some issues, if they have some do some self injury or something like that, they will have counseling like that. But there is a vast majority of population is unaware of like clinical depression, other issues. Like I'm not talking about the big issues in the mental health department. I'm saying about the day to day, the आम आदमी का problem जो
Mm-hmm.
होता है mental health का. I'm speaking about that. And I myself identifies as an highly sensitive personality. It's like I want to address that problem that we are facing. Highly sensitive personality people are
Mm-hmm.
nothing like the people who are much more sensitive to emotions and other triggers. It's like the normal
Right.
people. So like some people or some others call them empaths, or in psychological term it is known as highly sensitivity people. It's simple like that. These people have high quantity of empathy. Their EQ is so high that is very high compared to the normal population. It's like we our kind of people are
Mm-hmm.
around 20 percentage of the population all over the world, and different types of HSPs are there. Like, and this is not like addressed in anywhere in India. Abroad also happens the same. So it happens like people may see our people as introverts, shy people. We cannot go into crowds. Some of us, not everyone, some of us cannot go into crowds. Some of us are
Yeah.
afraid of sound. Some are sensitivity to violence in TV or news. Some become easily sad. So that kind of issues happens. Like this is a minority of people, but I happen to be one. I didn't know that till last year. I always know that I had some issues with me with my mental health, but I honestly didn't know, and I like an आम आदमी or a normal Indian guy, I didn't go for a mental health with हमारा यहाँ पे ऐसा होता है कि like हम अगर कुछ साइकाट्रिस्ट को कंसल्ट करेगा तो सब लोग बोलेगा हम पागल हैं. तो ऐसा वाला इशू मुझसे भी है,
True.
मेरे अंदर भी है. आई ऑल्सो हैव दैट इशू. सो आई नेवर वेंट टू ए साइकाट्रिस्ट, बट लास्ट ईयर आई got लिटिल बिट like out of hand. So I just want to share my experience through my life. Like that's why I'm here. Like I'm working in the field of environmental engineering, and I'm doing my own business for the past 15 years. So this is the key problem I just want to say, because most of the people doesn't know they are a HSP or highly sensitivity people, because
Right.
I communicate to people through Instagram or Facebook and other things. So a lot of people doesn't are not aware of this thing. They doesn't know they are this, they are that. They have these issues continuously. They think like they are the
Right.
odd guy in the group, odd like or the black swan or that kind of thing. But actually, this is a skill set that can be tamed. So that is what I want to address here. So the main thing. So,
So, yeah, Arun, I believe that yes, I agree with you that in India, uh, people are not really aware about their mental health condition. Usually, they misjudge their condition with depression or anxiety, but that can be, uh, uh, as you mentioned, a highly empathetic personality, which is not perpetually a disorder, but that is a trait of personality. In fact, I was also diagnosed with this personality few years back, but I was fortunate enough, not because I was into my high school, so that is why it didn't go that much at that higher scale. At very early
in
stage, it
your
was
teen,
diagnosed.
sorry to
So
interrupt.
I,
Like in your teenage itself, you got like
yes,
addressed with that. In your adolescent age itself, it was
yes,
addressed like,
yes, yes. When I was in my
oh,
11th
great,
standard.
great. That is a
So
tough time.
I wanted. Oh yes, it was. I'll tell you one small experience of
Uh-huh.
mine. I went for medical studies in
Okay.
11th standard, and there is this
Uh-huh.
institute. I'll not take the name of
Yeah,
the
understood.
institute. So I went there, but I could not cope up with the studies, and I could not cope up with the pressure, the peer pressure, and that medical student pressure.
Of course, I
Obviously,
understood.
they
I
have
understood.
to
I understood.
make. Yes, it's a tough call. So I could not bear that, and I came back and I quit, and I called it a quit, and I came back. So when I came back, I had to face a huge criticism, not just from outsiders, but there are few people in
Family.
your family. Some relatives are there who just not in terms of concern, but in terms of
Poking the wound.
what
Poking
do
the
you
wound.
say,
Poking the wound.
poking. Yes, yes.
I know, I know.
So that thing happened, and I went. That was a really, I would say, really bad phase. So that time I needed some sort of counseling, career counseling, and mental health counseling. And after my session, I was diagnosed with this highly empathetic
Okay.
personality and a minor
Okay.
depression. Then I was treated with a few
Okay.
sessions, and fortunately, I got cured. So from then and there, even I
Uh,
learned a lot
sorry,
as a
sorry. One
teen.
more thing. Cured in the sense your depression is cured.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it, right? Okay. Understood. Understood.
Yes, yes.
Understood.
My
Understood.
depression and my mental health, which was completely disrupted due to some external affairs or some my own created patterns of
Understood. Understood.
negativity.
Understood.
So from then there, my counselor, she suggested me to
Oh,
write a book, and from there I decided to write my first novel, which is Belong to Infinity, and it is
Amos.
available on Amazon. So it is all
Amazing.
about mental
Amazing.
health,
Amazing. Amazing.
right? Yes, I want you to read
Sure.
that
Sure.
if
Sure. Of
you
course. Of course. I
you're a
will.
book
I will.
lover.
So this is
So yes, this was my short story. So I can totally understand. I totally agree with you how this highly empathetic personality affects one person and one individual. And this is not a bad trait, I would say, but this is something which can overpower your
correct. Correct.
emotions, and it can overpower your balanced state
Sure.
of
Sure.
mind. So it can destroy
Yeah,
that,
we will go deep
right?
into the subject. Like this is
So
crazy thing. Like you told it's
absolutely.
every HSP's nightmare that they go through this trauma. Only then
Yes.
they will survive. That's the biggest
Yes.
thing. Like otherwise, we are people. People may call crazy. People may call us like different names. You
Mm,
are not good for nothing, like that. You as your relatives have done, as your
mm,
college people
true.
have done, like the same thing. That like we will budge easily. We are too sensitive, we may be shy, these things. So my thing was exactly the
Yeah.
same. Like I had a great childhood
Mm-hmm.
and it was awesome. Like I was born and brought up in Kerala. Like I was born in a village. So
Mm,
in a village, and I am an 90s kid, so the family was close knit. My father's
mm,
parents, brothers, everyone was a big family, and I got like plenty of love and caring. And I was the first born male in the family. You know the patriarchy how it runs in Indian families. So I was scared deeply in the
right.
in the initial childhood era. But what happens is like when I grown up to become and like in the adolescent age, like yeah, by 10th, like I was about 14 years or something, like
Mm,
I became too shy. I was really
mm,
afraid to face people. I want, like, if some relatives come to my home, I will go inside, I don't come outside. So my father and my mother both are extroverts. So obviously
mm,
they want me to be the active guy.
mm,
They want me to be a person like them.
mm.
So that pressure they put into me. But I am
Yeah.
not like them. I am entirely different person. I am a unique identity I have. Like everybody is unique. So as you know, like my parents
Yeah.
were educated and stuff, but they were never educated in this kind of stuff. They
Mm,
nobody knows these kinds of things. So I will get pretty much upset in like very easily, and small fights will happen. And empaths
mm,
or high sensitivity people, what it does is like to us is like we have this high amount of empathy inside our mind. That means like all emotions inside us are heightened. So if you say a normal person
yeah.
has like anger that can be measured like a glass of water, but an empath's anchor is kind like it's like an ocean. That kind of quantity
Yeah.
variation is there. So we will do crazy things. We can do amazing stuff. So these things are there, but all the
Mm.
negative emotion is there. Similar to love, caring, everything comes. Sadness also we have the same thing. We have too
It's
much
like
of this thing.
we feel everything too much.
Correct. We feel like too much,
Yeah.
and the other thing is like, and this won't go away. Like we pick up emotion from other people. We
Mm.
are very good at connecting with people. So what happened to me is like my parents like
Yeah.
tried to change me, and like I'm not blaming them or anything, because by 14 or 15, you know, like a male kid that grows
Yeah.
into thing, I'm exploring my
Generation gap.
everything, like my sexuality and everything. So I'm already going through a tough time. And my school was also like same, a convent school, very strict, and they also see me as a weird kid. I'm doing something drugs. They thought like I'm kind of weird
Mm.
kid in the, like I'm kind of an average student, not a great, not bad, but I'm average
Right.
student in the school also. So that pressure also was there. So nobody understood totally me. And one time I budged. So what I budged means like I got too angry that I got fighting to with my father and my mother, and some silly thing. I just want to become a priest. I tell them like that. Oh, I don't want anything else. I don't want to go for any engineering or medicine. Same thing that you have gone through. Like I want to become a priest. I was born as a Catholic Christian, but now I am an atheist, but a spiritual guy. But what happened was like
Mm.
I wanted to become a priest, and I did started a big quarrel. So we are like my I have a sister only, and I am the only male child in my family. So they doesn't want me to become a priest, obviously. So that pressure was there, and this fight, like what happened is like I didn't eat for 2 days. My parents were also kind of in a
Mm.
anchor thing. They also was fighting like a person of their age. They didn't understand I'm just a kid. They didn't know that actually, because I was also too
Mm.
rude, because my anger was that kind of thing. I say things like I don't want this, like that, you know. So that happened, and in the second or the third day my mother came to me and asked me, you should eat. If you don't eat, you should get out of this house. Hearing that, I became really angry, pissed off, and was really sad.
Yeah.
My whole life, my parents loved me very much. I also loved them very much. So that was there. But this Now what happens is like that anger also was there. So I just left the house from there and I started walking. I like my school is around 10 kilometers away from my home. So I just walk. I just started walking. My parents also didn't believe I just walk and go somewhere else. So I just my aim was to go to the school and I was thinking all this bullshit thing in my mind like, oh, my parents doesn't love me. They're just I am just kind of a like additional accessory in my home. Nobody wants me. That kind of sadness. That kind of that it's a 14-year-old kid.
Yeah,
What you would think like and they
I, 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 I can totally
so
understand.
it was a silly thing actually,
The
like
thing is
silly
that
thing that causes the problem. But the
yes,
underlying issue was like these emotions only. That was my issue only. It's nothing to blame to my parents actually. So I started working.
mm,
I worked. I left the home at afternoon and I reached 2 3 hours. I walked, started working and I reached near my school. There was a big bridge there. So it was near there was a big river also. So in my mind, my life is ending. Like my parents doesn't want me, so I just want to die. So I just want to jump from the bridge. That was my ambition. So my whole thing, I was thinking like I was
so you committed
I want
suicide,
to commit suicide. Like now I am laughing, but that situation was crazy.
and at what
It was
age?
14. I walked around 14, 1
14.
4.
Okay,
So I was around like
okay.
walked around 10 kilometers from my home to this place, and I want to
Hmm.
jump from the bridge. That was the thing I have to do because nothing matters. My parents doesn't want me in the house. They tell me to you get out. So I gone there. I stand near the bridge, but I don't have the courage for to do that. So I then start walk.
No, that was really
Yeah,
stupid idea. And I'm sure now whenever you think about that, you must be laughing at yourself.
yeah,
How बच्चा I was,
correct.
मैं कितनी बेवकूफी
बहुत
वाली
बहुत
हरकत थी जो मैं
बहुत
करने जा
बेवकूफ़ी
रहा
की
था.
है like it was kind of crazy thing and it was silly also, but these silly things are na that whatever
Yes.
suicide news you are hearing in the news that happens because of the silliest things done by kids and adults. It's not like kids only do the
Hmm.
thing, adults also do the same thing.
Hmm.
In whatever newspaper what you see a person committed suicide, the reason is very small. Nobody cares for these things. Like nobody cares about your side of the story to console you. Nobody is there. So that's why I say we have to seek professional help. There is there in from the government side, from the other
It's true.
organization, it is there, but we are too egoistic or too what can I say, like I don't have any word for that.
We cannot say we cannot say we are too egoistic. I think the correct word would be we are too much disappointed with
Correct, correct.
ourselves, or we are not ready
Accept the
to
fact.
accept the fact that we have
Correct,
that
correct,
problem.
correct.
I'll tell you one more thing. uh, just like your parents, obviously हर पेरेंट अपने बच्चे को बहुत प्यार करता है और बहुत अनकंडीशनल प्यार देता है. बट कभी कभार ड्यू टू सम जनरेशन गैप, ड्यू टू सम I would say the era of this generation, and some modernization, or some the customization in which we are going through, some things are not acceptable for our parents and some things are not acceptable
Correct,
for
correct.
us. So वो जो एक गैप है, वो एक गैप हमारे बीच में, हमारे और हमारे पेरेंट्स के बीच में एक मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग क्रिएट कर देता है, या फिर एक मिसजजमेंट क्रिएट कर देता है. सो मुझे याद है, आई रिमेम्बर that when I was into depression, few, as I mentioned, few members, they really not exactly fun of my depression, but they used to say that uh, uh, ये टर्म तुमने कहाँ से सीखी, हमारी फैमिली में तो कभी किसी को हुआ नहीं, तुम्हें कैसे हो गया. सो ये बस तुमने फैंसी टर्म होता है ना कि सुनने में अच्छा लगता है कि अरे मुझे डिप्रेशन है, तो तुमने वैसा बना लिया है कि
Yeah,
तुम्हें डिप्रेशन है, बट तुम्हें है कुछ नहीं. So they used to make, they used to mock at that mental health condition of mine कि how can you say that. अंदर ही अंदर मैं ऐसे बात करती थी कि आप कैसे कह सकते हैं.
yes.
राइट। सो कुछ ऐसे लोग होते हैं आपके रिलेटिव्स में, आपके घर परिवार में, जो कुछ ना कुछ इक्का तुक्का करते ही
Of
है
course, of
आपकी
course.
लाइफ में। लेकिन वो भी होने जरूरी है, क्योंकि अगर वो ना हो तो आपका जो इमोशनल ग्रोथ है, मुझे लगता है वो
Correct,
नहीं
correct,
होता है।
correct.
राइट। सो वो चीज हुई। एंड they were like, how nahi, you have nothing, you are totally fine, you're not depressed. So the patient or the person who is going through that phase can only understand कि वो situation उसके लिए कैसी है। From my experience, it was whole darkness at that time. There was nobody around me who could understand me apart from my therapist. There was nobody with whom I can share my thoughts. I was so afraid of sharing my thoughts, and I was so afraid uh, of even going into crowd or hanging out with people. मुझे Arun, I don't know if this similar thing happened with you or not, but I was really afraid of being social. I could not make friends, and डर लगता था
बहुत
एक
बहुत
अजीब सा, और एक अलग ही आपका डार्कनेस का दुनिया बन जाता है वो एक ऐसा दुनिया बन जाता है, आपको लगता है आप इस चीज से निकल ही नहीं पाओगे कभी। उस टाइम पे मुझे ऐसा लगता था मैं निकल ही नहीं पाऊंगी कभी, मैं ठीक ही नहीं हो सकती। And then COVID came, and COVID में the anxiety and the depression level was like, it was at the peak. It was at the peak. और क्योंकि सब कुछ बंद था, कुछ करने के लिए नहीं था, तो उस टाइम पे मुझे लगता है बहुत सारे लोगों ने अपना कहीं ना कहीं मेंटल हेल्थ में ऊपर नीचे उतार चढ़ाव
correct.
देखा है। बट आई थिंक उस सिचुएशन में जो एक चीज, जो एक रे ऑफ होप मेरे अंदर रही, दैट वाज माय राइटिंग, and secondly, spirituality. So from then, or from there, universe guided me the path of spirituality, and then I got to know, और मैंने chanting और ये सब शुरू कर दिया, और जो thoughts मुझे लगते थे मुझे डरा रहे हैं या मुझे डिफीट कर रहे हैं, और मुझे मैं ऐसे ऐसे थॉट्स आते थे अरुण,
No,
मैं बता नहीं सकती। मैं
I
अब सोचती
understood
हूँ तो
that. You
मुझे,
can share, na, like there is nothing wrong with that. Like
yes, it was like कि this is all hell. Okay, I'm living in a hell, and when I'll die, I'll go to hell. And my body is shedding day by day, and there was so much anxiety inside me. My hands used to shiver. नींद नहीं आती थी रात को कई बारी। सो ऐसे बहुत सारे ऐसे स्लीपलेस नाइट्स रही हैं, लेकिन ये दे these things you cannot share with your
nobody will
parents.
understand. Nobody will
You
understand.
cannot.
They will label. They
Nobody
will
will
give you
understand.
new other disease name or something like that. अरे ये मेरे बच्ची पागल हो गई है.
Yes.
She's gone. She's done. But
Yes.
nobody
Yes.
understands that,
तो
and I totally like.
बट मैं यही कहूंगी कि uh, आप दिस इज माय मैसेज टू पेरेंट्स कि बी फ्रेंडली
Exactly.
विद योर किड्स, बी एज मच फ्रेंडली एज मच एज यू कैन, बिकॉज दे
Correct,
नीड
correct,
यू। उन्हें बाहर सहारा ना ढूंढना पड़े, क्योंकि बाहर की दुनिया आप उतना ट्रस्ट आप नहीं कर सकते उन पे जितना आप अपने पेरेंट्स पे कर
correct, correct.
सकते हैं। Especially to mothers, ki be friends with
Correct.
your kids. My mother has always been my best friend, and she's my hero. So somehow, because of her, I came
Great,
out
great.
of that depression wali cheese. And maybe it's a request to all my parents: be friends with your kids,
Correct,
क्योंकि they
correct.
need you. उनके मेंटल हेल्थ आजकल शक्ति बहुत कम हो गई है, और हवा भी ऐसी चल रही है। सो इट्स इम्पोर्टेंट कि आप अपने बच्चों के साथ टाइम बिताएं, उनके साथ दोस्ती करें, उनको जज ना करें, एंड
let
उनके साथ एक अच्छा हेल्दी टाइम बिताएं,
let
ताकि
them
वो सब
be
कुछ
what
आपके
they
साथ
are.
शेयर
Like
कर
don't
सकें।
put any pressure, don't put any label,
यस।
don't put any high ambition on their onto their head. Let them do whatever they want.
यस।
Like don't think
यस।
like the मेरा बच्चा डॉक्टर बनेगा वही अच्छा हो जाएगा, मेरा बच्चा इंजीनियर बनेगा कुछ नहीं होने वाला है वरना। ऐसे ऐसे like people other in other things,
यस।
writers are living, actors are also, is acting is also a profession, youtubing, gaming,
या।
everything is a profession now. Like if that person has a skill or a
या।
talent, the parent should support that to like get it done. They should be worried only about one thing, that to give them the basic education and treat them as a friend. Like Chanakya said, till 10
Yeah.
years you beat your kid. After 10 years, he is your friend. You
Hmm.
cannot put pressure, or you cannot beat
Hmm.
your child and make it into something else. So if you make it something else, it won't be proper. They won't be successful in life. So that's like the basic thing.
True.
Everybody is saying this thing, but still parents are obviously pushing and pressurizing kids into things they don't want to do. So
Hmm.
coming to the like empath and your HSP
Yeah.
thing, like I think you had a spiritual awakening or kind of awakening thing. Like that was the shivering
Yes.
that comes with
Yes.
lots of emotional, too much emotion that you cannot handle. You will be thinking like, अरे मेरा लाइफ
Yes.
डन, आई एम डन, मैं पागल हो रहा, मेरा हाथ से जा रहा है, ऐसा वाला फीलिंग होता है. लाइक दैट इज क्रेजी
Bus.
थिंग दैट
Exactly. Bilkul.
that the problem with the awakening is also like nobody will understand this. Nobody will understand this thing unless that person has gone
Hmm.
through this. So when
True.
like I in my like if I count it out, I have awakening 3 times. So awakening, like in my opinion, it is nothing.
Hmm.
I believe in spirituality, but I am not a religious guy, or I don't believe in God. So I am saying
Hmm.
is like we are some kind of energy, like trapped in a physical body that is
Hmm.
kind of a cloth. Our purpose is to
Hmm.
enrich that energy
Hmm.
and make it better and go back to our source.
Hmm.
That's what I'm thinking. So why we are
Right.
born here is like to make the better version of our soul. That's what our thing. It's not like making money. Making money
Yeah.
is one thing, that is the physical thing. Having love or being loved by other
Yeah.
people, that is also physical thing. But making better in the sense like nothing should trigger you. You should be at peace, like Buddha. That is the
Hmm.
state when you are enlightened.
True.
So I don't think I will be enlightened in this state, in
True.
this life, maybe in next life. See, 1 year back I was a complete atheist and I didn't believe in this thing. In spirituality, in religion, I used to mock
Hmm.
religions. Like I used to mock God, used to mock spiritual people in social media and stuff. I was crazy. But when this was the third time I am having my awakening, and nothing, I studied psychology extensively, like you can't imagine. Like, because I didn't get the answer for this
Hmm.
one. Like, why is this happening to me? That trauma, I couldn't sleep,
Hmm.
vivid dreams.
Yeah. Exactly. This question always used to come in my mind. Why me? What have I done so bad?
Yeah, that.
What have I done so miserable to someone that why
But
me?
in spiritual times, now, like it is called the dark night of the soul and stuff. I
Yeah.
tried to learn much about
Yes.
science, because I even thought like I am becoming a wicked person. So I studied about like the three dark traits, like psychopathy,
Hmm.
Machiavellianism, and narcissism. These are the dark triads, three dark triads in psychology, like we say. So I thought like I'm becoming a narcissist. I thought I'm having a psychotic break.
I've heard about narcissism. I've heard about narcissism. The other two are, say it again.
Machiavellianism and psychopathy. These are like, simply say, like these people, narcissists are the people who doesn't have any empathy. They have zero empathy. They don't care
Okay.
for any people, but they show that they care about other people. They can do anything to other people. They can kill a person,
Right.
but they don't feel anything. Psychopathy and this thing also same thing. This also comes with this similar traits. They do violence or anything without a small glimpse. They don't have anything. Machiavellianism is the craziest of this
Okay.
part, because they are master manipulators. They can handle or manipulate people or groups, and they will do
Okay.
anything. So some people, the darkest people, they have any of these three traits in varying degrees. So I thought I am having
Hmm.
these kinds of thing in, like, and I tried to study these things. And when you study something, you will think like you have that disease. But eventually, I came to know like
Hmm.
this happens to most of the HSPs, like, or the high sensitivity people, highly sensitive people. This
Hmm.
awakening is common actually, in a personal way. So what it does is like,
Hmm.
in a simple time, you are born, you are being fed with data, you are being fed with things by your parents, the society. ये करना है, वो करना है, ये नहीं करना है, वो करना है. That kind of programming is done by the society and the your parents and everything. So at a particular stage, what happens, to highly sensitivity people. No, everyone will have this spiritual awakening, but I'm saying like HSPs tends to have
Hmm.
awakening so fast and very easily, and multiple also it will happen. So what happened is like that
What is this what is this SHP?
HSP, highly sensitivity personality. Sorry, like I
HSP,
misspelled
yes.
it, I think.
Okay, so they do awaken early as compared to other
Early
people,
also,
right?
like see, if you consider a population of 100, like maybe 20 or 30 people may be
Hmm.
awakened, maybe, but if you go for that,
Mm-hmm.
you will see maybe 10 or 5 people will be awakened. Most of them will
Okay.
be HSPs. Like I'm not saying, like I have read a study that
Okay.
revealed this data that HSPs tend to have awakening common. Awakening is common in highly sensitivity people. So that's what I read. So
Okay.
you need to
Hmm.
understand the perspective. See, what we have is like we have that emotion inside our mind. We connect with everything. See, you as an
Hmm.
empath, I can say is like when after my first awakening, obviously, I became aware of certain kind of sense that
Hmm.
I can speak to anyone. I can make anyone friend instantly.
Hmm.
So in my plus two, in my like second like 12th, I used this skill to make my friends. I
Hmm.
was a loner. I only had one friend in my school till 10th.
Hmm.
But that getting away from my home
Hmm.
and everything, that was kind of an
Hmm.
epiphany or kind of an awakening to me. So I changed from that shy, that like
Hmm.
dormant introvert guy from something else. I became all of a sudden an
Hmm.
extrovert. I could speak to
So,
anyone. I don't
right.
care. I will mock my relatives in
Hmm.
a funny way. Obviously, I don't mean any harm to them. I understood that I have this thing. I was being hidden. So that kind of it was kind of, imagine a guy who got a superpower. That kind of thing was there. I became very popular in my school also. In my till my 10th, like nobody knows me. Like I'm kind of, and after my 10th I became infamous also. The guy who tried to commit suicide, that was my name. So so after after that I went into my 12th and I was a changed guy. And some of the friends also, friends means like people who studied in my 10th were also there. That was a separate school I studied in my 12th. So they seeing the change like, "ये तुझे क्या हुआ है? तू
Right.
कौन है? ये पुराना वाला गंदा कहाँ गया?" Like that kind of thing was there. I was cool, chill, that popular guy in the thing. So what I'm saying is like whatever we are born, we are fed and we are being programmed by the society. So our true nature is hidden.
Hmm.
What awakening does is like it makes you closer to the real you. So there is नंदिनी के अंदर एक
Yeah.
नंदिनी होता है, वो जो सभी, see everybody has a
Hmm.
three personality, you know that, right? That is seen by the society, that we think we are, and the actual you. So these three, I believe in that. So
Yeah.
the actual you also never know. You also never know. Buddha or any other enlightened personality in the world, they are saying is like you look for yourself. The only thing you have to do is like you
Yeah.
have to look for yourself, and awakening does that thing. I didn't know that at that time that I was having an awakening, because that emotional pressure actually, what happens to empaths is like we have too much emotions. So that emotions, when
Hmm.
it is get broken by some kind of situations, like you having that medical, that you are getting out of that college, dropping out from that college, that put an emotional
Yeah.
strain on you. That what it did was like that put too much emotional pressure onto you and you couldn't handle it. So what your body or your mind tried to do was like to bring the real you outside, because the real you is too strong.
Yeah.
Your mind, your soul knows that. So it want you to come out and
Oh,
you have to
yes.
fight for that one.
It's true.
Otherwise you will die, you
It's
will
true.
commit
I
suicide, you
can.
will jump from the bridge or something else. But you will come out if you try to know yourself, because I didn't know that till last year. So
Absolutely.
many years have passed from my first awakening that I didn't know that I was having awakening or something like that. And I never went to a psychiatrist or a
Hmm.
psychologist, or never in my life I did counseling. I had good friends.
Hmm.
So this is
Hmm.
what happens to HSPs. Like we are a different rate of people. I'm not saying like we are superior or inferior.
Hmm.
I'm not saying this is a skill
Hmm.
or this is a power or this is anything, but this has its positives and negatives like life. You have to understand what it
Yeah.
is and you have to manage it. We will have our emotional overwhelming phase. We have our see, like, what I can say is like, people won't believe when I say like I can pick up people's emotion. See, if I started, or
Hmm.
and a normal empaths are different types. Like HSPs are named in different categories: physical empaths,
Hmm.
psychological empaths. Different types of people are there. So what our kind of people does is like, when we go out, we talk to a person, we indirectly pick that person's emotion. So that's what called like, our face is a
Hmm.
tool or a screen that emit like different emotions. If I'm happy, if I'm sad, it will be shown in
Hmm.
my face. So that is in a micro expression also, we will have that. Every human is capable of that, creating a micro expression in their face, but not everyone is capable of picking up. So what we have the power is like, when we talk
Yeah.
to a person, if that person is slightly sad also, we will sense it involuntarily. We doesn't know that. Involuntarily that sadness, and we will ask them, अरे क्या हो गया तुझे, क्या हो गया, क्या problem है. So people used to come to us and share their sadness or share their problems with us. So I think you also can resonate these things, because you are also like learning these things. So that
Of course.
that problem with that is like, once you see a person sad, the moment you see that person's sadness, you intake that a bit of sadness to yourself. So what happens is like, when you go to your home, that sadness is with you. This used to happen to me, and I talk
Hmm.
to many people, and most of them have the same issue, because we don't know, suddenly when we go home after a whole day, we are also sad. I also don't know why I'm sad. I didn't know actually.
Hmm.
So what I did was like, I honestly don't know what the sadness was there, but then the sadness got attached to something else. I tried to like put that sadness caused by some of my friends or my family. So we cannot actually like understand, differentiate it with others and our sadness. Later it becomes our sadness only. So that is a problem that all empaths have. Like Judith Orlow, one author is there. She has an amazing book. She has multiple books on empaths. So the name is also Empath only. So
Hmm.
I urge every high sensitivity people to read that book. In that, there are techniques that can be used to shield us from the other emotions, because we used to tend to have no boundaries. We used to involve in other, because most of them, like, no, not all empaths or not all HSPs are like this, I'm saying. Like we used to be sad, we used to have too much emotional problems. So that book really helped me actually, because I came to know that I am an empath or a highly sensitivity personality after my third awakening last year. So that helped me a lot, because I became a little bit closer to myself. So I cannot say like it is the.
So, Arun, yeah, basically you're saying that the thing that helped in over powering your that phase was spiritual awakening, which happened naturally,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It happens naturally, because most of them, if you like, I have a couple of Instagram handles, so I too many people come to me, and most of them will be doesn't know what I am saying or why it happened to me. They doesn't know spiritual awakening. They will be toxic and they will share, put some bad comment. But I try to respond to them. Every message, every comment, I try to
Hmm.
reply. So most of them, I met genuine empaths. I met genuine people who were having awakening, that they didn't know it was an awakening. Most of them have, like, if men or women, our biggest problem is our relationship. Money comes second only. Actually, our
Yeah.
relationship with our parents, our relationship with our loved ones or our partner. So that is the biggest thing. Like suddenly breakup हो गया, उसके बाद बहुत problem हो गया. Normal people, you
Hmm.
can see, they will be sad for a few, क्या बोलेगा, like few months or a few days. They will move on, they will find someone else, they will go out. But people like us, we cannot move that much faster. Like
Yeah,
we
that's
will be
true.
sunk.
It's hard to move
Correct,
on.
correct. We will be deeply buried in that sadness. And most of the
Yeah.
poets, one more thing, like most of the artists or creative people are empaths only. So, yeah, writers, screenwriters, poets, authors like you. You have the creativity because you are an empath. That's why you have that creative skills, because words come to you. That's the thing. You have to polish that skill so that you will become
Yeah.
better each year. The talent is there with you. Some may be artists, they will be painting. Some may be 3D animators. I met 3D animators in my through my page. I met poets, I met writers like you. So that creative side is also high. So most of the people I met that have an awakening had a problem with either a personal loss or an emotional situation or a breakup. These
Hmm.
are the three, four most of the varieties of incidents that happen to people. So people like us, what they want to do is like, if we have an emotional pressure, channel that energy to something creative. Don't sit, be sad. Anyone, any normal human being, they should do is like, if you have an emotional issue, first thing is to question that issue, why it happened to me and how it happened to you, and I won't let it happen. I won't
Yeah.
let it.
That's the basic thing that
Yeah,
one needs to
yeah,
do, to introspect, to sit with yourself, spend time as much as you can. Even if you're busy, at least it's important to spend 1 hour in a day, or 30 minutes in a day, or 15 to 20 minutes in a day, just to have a look at your soul, that who are you
correct, correct,
exactly. And this is something which empaths
correct,
loves to
correct,
do. Uh, just other than
correct,
other
correct,
people. Why empaths loves to do? Because they are so much connected with emotions. As you mentioned, it's hard for them to move on from a breakup, and it's hard for them to move on emotionally from any sort of situation or person, and they got
correct,
attached
correct.
very easily. They are very much emotional, and also one trait is there, Arun, that we see people through our vision. Like for example, if person wouldn't be that much good as I think, but in my heart, I will only see
Correct,
good
correct,
in him or her, or like I won't judge that person. We won't judge that person. We will see
correct,
only good in that person. We
correct,
will
correct,
feel the good characters. And after spiritual awakening, Arun, I wanted to come on that subject as well. That after spiritual awakening as well, this thing usually happens, that you feel you see the person not as a human being but as an
correct,
energy,
exactly,
as a
exactly,
soul.
exactly.
And because you know that that person is a soul, and we all are souls, we all are part of that super souls, and at the end we all are going to be at one
Correct.
place, right? So you cannot judge that person, okay, why did he do that, उसने ऐसा क्यों किया, क्योंकि आपका उसके साथ कोई कार्मिक अकाउंट था इसीलिए उसने
Exactly,
किया।
exactly,
ठीक है,
exactly.
ये चीज
He
होनी
or
थी।
she is meant to do
Yes,
that to you
according to
so that
laws
you
of
should learn
karma.
something or you should grow from that
Yes.
situation. That is the correct.
Yes. So that other side of empathy and love and compassion, it it gets so vulnerable, and it gets so increased in you, that you stop seeing flaws
Correct,
in
correct,
people.
correct.
You stop judging them. You stop playing blame games with them. And I think it's
Correct,
beautiful,
correct,
isn't
correct.
it?
Because like in many occasions, like I used to help people. I used to have like in college and in my business also. Like the people
Hmm.
who others see as a bad person also is a friend of mine. Like I see them as like it's a
Hmm.
person. It's a human being. Whatever they have done, it's because of
Yeah.
their ignorance. They will improve. I was also something else few years
Hmm.
back. I also done something
Hmm.
bad. So
Hmm.
what changes it is
Yeah.
like I have to see it in a broader perspective. Like you said, if we all come from one
Yeah.
place, we are going to the same place back, and we are returning back, and our only purpose is to become the better version of ourselves. In not in a cosmetic or in
Yes.
a physical or in a like wealth or nothing like that, but we have to delete our
Hmm.
trigger points. Like if one situation you became
Yes.
angry, you have to go through that situation, you have to learn why you become
Hmm.
angry to that person or in that situation, and so that next time that shouldn't happen.
Hmm.
I'm not saying you shouldn't be angry, you should be like a stone or a stoic like that, but I'm saying is like negativity is there, but we are here to spread the love.
Yeah.
We are here to help people, and people are
Yeah.
here to help us. So we as a community, we should grow, and we as a
True.
civilization, we become a better civilization. So that's our whole purpose. We don't want to fight wars. We don't want to become something animalistic. Obviously, we are animals.
Yeah.
We seen blood in our past generations, but that days are gone.
Yes.
Now our thing is like we are more civilized. We need to help people. We don't need to mock others. We don't need to
Hmm.
like कुछ गड़बड़ उसमें है. We need to ask them. अरे क्या हो गया? कैसे हो गया? What is the problem?
Hmm.
Like, can I help you something? Like, it doesn't cost you a single rupee also, if you are saying in a monetary way. To you, like, I used to travel a
Hmm.
lot in auto rickshaw, cabs and stuff. So I live in Bangalore also. Like, people are too busy here. Cabs also, they are continuously
Hmm.
calling someone. So if some auto guy is like, or some cab driver is having some issue, I will ask them, कहाँ से कैसे हो, like that kind of
Yeah.
things I try to communicate with them, and I kind of learn their stories. Many people are brilliant people, like you can't believe, like educated people running auto rickshaw. I met students who are running Uber, like they are studying animations and like virtual communication in big university part time. They say like I'm making 2,000 bucks a day. So nobody is here to judge me. So these kinds of people are running in our society, and nobody cares to ask them like अरे क्या हो गया, क्या कर रहे हैं आप कहाँ से हो, कुछ भी नहीं है. Like you just go, you just travel, you just get out. You are not connected to anything. We are just kind of, that is not we are what we are meant to be. We are meant to be the people who want to be
Also,
like the helpers, and we need to help. We need to see others as our
healers.
brothers and sisters, and we need to grow together. So every interaction will give you something to
Yeah.
learn. That's what I am learning, that I'm growing this beard because I have huge anger issues, and I fought with my father like 6 7 years ago. And I regret that day. Like it got like I tried to control my anger when I was very young itself, like from my 20s, but I couldn't do that. And one moment I budged,
Hmm.
and in call I just got too, over phone I got too mad, and I didn't speak to him for 1 year. So and he passed away after
Oh,
2 more years. So that now I cannot rectify
oh, I'm
my
so sorry to
things.
hear
So
about that.
that emotion connected me, and I'm punishing myself that I won't cut my beard until I master my emotion. Because I'm not saying anger is a bad quality. Anger is a negative trait when you use it to others. You can be angry on yourself for your self improvement. You cannot be angry on other person and make them feel bad, because you need to see what the other person feel in your shoes. And one more thing I want to add is like empath's anchor is called supernova. Like you need to read about that. All the audience, I'm requesting, like I'm not saying about any fancy terms or anything. These are things that have been coined by the people in the psychology. So these are like we went out our whole emotion for a year or something like that. Altogether, some small situation happened, we put the whole anger into some other guy. That is totally unrelated thing. So
Yeah.
uh, I am trying to control my thing, and it's been like 7 years, and I couldn't do that till now. And whenever I have master this, because
Firstly,
it is a messy thing. Like I am doing business, I cannot dress properly. Whatever I wear, I will look like
hmm.
this only. Like I want to cut this and shape this, and my hair also, I want to look groomed well. So what, this is my way of punishing myself, so that I should remember that I am doing this because I have one big negative flow, and I want to become a better version of myself. That's what my whole ambition is. And somehow in this life I may become that. I hope that, and I hope you will also become something like that, because we strive to improve, and we strive to reflect on ourselves. That is the best thing you can do. And we, like highly sensitive people, are the worst critics of themselves. We do too much self criticism that we eventually get depressed. अरे क्या हो गया, why did I do that, मैं क्यों किया ऐसा, अरे मेरे साथ ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है, ऐसा sadness होता है. So like that kind of things happens to us. So this happens with mostly with HSPs, and every human beings are having these emotional issues. And I once again reiterate that suicide or self harm is no solution. You have to find what the
Yeah,
problem in you, or inherently it's not a problem, actually it might be a gift. You have to do introspection and find who you are and to become a better person, so that you can evolve and become a great soul. So that's what awakening does to you, that's what
yeah,
spirituality does to you. Every god in the world is saying the same thing, like अरे अच्छा इंसान बनो, और कुछ नहीं, सभी इंसान, सभी जो भी धर्म है उसमें ऐसा ही बोलता है, अच्छा इंसान बनो, उतना ही है. बट पीपल आर नाउ ट्विस्टिंग दैट वर्ड्स to fight each other, make wars, make crimes, like communal riots. Everything is happening all over the world based on color, based on religion and stuff. So I just want to reiterate that our thing is not to like earn
mm,
more wealth, and wealth obviously you have to enjoy the life that you are given, but our main ambition or aim is to become the better version of yourself for a better soul. So that's what I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to spread that message to all the people out there. So I think you are also doing the same thing with
absolutely,
your
Arun.
platform, and you also gone through so much stuff in your life. So I truly connect with you, and it was really grateful, like having an opportunity
Yeah, me
to
too.
get and
Me
say
too.
these things, because I didn't like give any interview for this my spiritual thing, because nobody considers me as a spiritual guy, because I was a ruthless atheist. So I used to mock everything, and I'm kind of sarcastic also. So now I do that sarcasm to myself, so that I become the better version of myself. So thank you, Nandini. Like anything you.
You know, Arun, yes, yes, I would like to add something. Firstly, it's really sad to hear about your father. I'm really sorry. And secondly, Arun, one thing that you mentioned, it's a beautiful point that you tend to take out your aggression on one person or on one situation, but you don't realize that at one point. ये गुस्से में कहते हैं ना, गुस्से में की हुई बातें तीर की तरह
Correct.
चुभती हैं, और गुस्से में जो लफ्ज निकलते हैं वो वापस
Correct.
नहीं आते हैं, तो
Correct.
सोच समझ कर
Correct.
आप
Correct.
उनका
Correct.
इस्तेमाल
Correct.
करें. मैंने भी आई वुड से मैंने भी अपनी लाइफ में कुछ लोगों को अपने गुस्से से हर्ट किया है, और कुछ जाने अनजाने में हुआ, कुछ क्योंकि आई वाज वंस वेरी शॉर्ट टेम्पर्ड. आई वाज वेरी रिएक्ट, मतलब बहुत जल्दी मैं रिएक्ट करती थी, बहुत जल्दी
Same.
गुस्सा
Same.
आ जाता था, बात बर्दाश्त नहीं होती थी. और एक वो होता है ना कि गुस्से में कुछ आप हरकतें भी ऐसी कर जाते हो कि आपको बाद में जाके रियलाइज होता है, यार मैंने क्या कर दिया और मैंने क्यों कर दिया, मुझे नहीं करना चाहिए था. तो मैंने भी अपने वर्ड से, अपने एक्शन से कुछ लोगों को हर्ट किया है, एंड आई एम स्टिल अपोलोजेटिक टू देम, एंड आई हैव बीन, मैंने माफ़ी भी मांगी है उस चीज़ की, और यही चीज़ मैंने सीखी है स्पिरिचुअल अवेकनिंग की जर्नी पर भी, और कुछ टाइम पर भी, दैट कामनेस इज समथिंग जो आपको बदल देती है. शांति, अंदरूनी शांति, सुकून एक ऐसी चीज़ है जो आपको बदल देती है. तो आप जब अपने ऊपर काम कर रहे होते हो ना, अरुण, मैं ये नहीं बोलूँगी कि वी आर सो, हम अपने आप को क्रिटिसाइज करते हैं, बट मैं ये बोलूँगी कि वी आर लर्नर्स एंड वी लव टू ग्रो. हमें हर छोटे से छोटे इंसान से सीखने को बहुत अच्छा लगता है, कुछ नया ट्राई करने में बहुत अच्छा लगता है, अपनी गलतियां मानने में खुशी
Correct.
मिलती है.
Correct.
अगर मैं अपनी बात करूं, या अगर हमारे जैसे जो लोग हैं जो हमसे कनेक्ट कर पा रहे हैं, तो वो समझेंगे कि जब आप अपने आप पर काम करना शुरू करते हो ना, तो आप बहुत अच्छा
Correct.
ग्रो करते हो, और आप देखते हो कि मैं पहले क्या था और अब मैं क्या हो गया. सो ये जो जो भी ये भी एक मैं बता एक मेरा मैसेज है कि जब भी आप गुस्से में हैं, चाहे वो आपका गर्लफ्रेंड है, चाहे वो आपका बॉयफ्रेंड है, चाहे आपका पार्टनर है, आपके पेरेंट्स हैं, आपका कोई भी रिश्ता है, चाहे आप खुद ही क्यों नहीं है, जस्ट ट्राई टू बी काम. और उस सिचुएशन में कभी भी किसी को उल्टा सीधा ना बोल दे, ताकि आपको बाद में रिग्रेट
Exactly.
हो, क्योंकि वो गिल्ट जो होता है ना, वो गिल्ट लाइफ लॉन्ग कहीं
Yeah.
ना कहीं रह जाता है. सो सॉरी बोल दें और दिल से माफ़ी मांगे, आपको दिल से माफ़ी भी मिल जाएगी. एंड वही चीज़ें रिलेशनशिप में भी, यही मेरा एक एक मैं पॉइंट ऐड करूंगी कि जो आपके रिलेशनशिप्स हैं उनमें जितनी आपकी पर्सनल ग्रोथ होगी उतनी आपकी रिलेशनशिप की ग्रोथ होगी। स्पिरिचुअली अवेक होना, यस इट्स इम्पोर्टेंट, बट अरुण मुझे लगता है हर एक का एक टाइम होता है स्पिरिचुअली अवेक होने का, मतलब उस लाइन में जाने का, उसके साथ जुड़ने का। आई थिंक हर एक का एक डिवाइन टाइम होता है। सो बट स्टिल आई वुड से कि जितना हो सके आप लोग एक अच्छा इंसान बने। मनी इज इम्पोर्टेंट यस, बट बीइंग द बेस्ट वर्जन ऑफ योर सेल्फ इज समथिंग विच इज
Correct,
मोर
correct.
इम्पोर्टेंट। किसी को इमोशनली हर्ट ना करें, और you will
Correct,
feel the
correct,
bliss.
correct.
You will
You will
feel the
feel that
bliss
energy and
within
that
you.
will propel you to the life. That's what happens. Like, if you do some good
Yes,
things, nothing will happen
yes,
immediately. You will get some bad things in return also. But
yes,
it's that saying is also there, no good deed goes unpunished. So that doesn't matter. That self
yes,
satisfaction you get from what you are doing, that you won't get doing anything else. So be little selfless, be
yeah.
little like modest, be little like less angry, be happy, enjoy every moment. Don't think like I want to achieve this thing.
And
Like,
practice self love. And practice self
it's
love.
very
It's very
important, it's
important.
very
आज
important, it's very
आजकल
important.
लोग खुद से प्यार नहीं करते हैं. They don't know the
Correct,
power of
correct,
loving
correct.
themselves.
Exactly, exactly. This thing also I didn't know still last year, because I always thought that if I love myself, I become selfish. So I am kind of the guy that people will call as a nice guy. Like, I do go with the flow, I help everyone, I will go. But खुद का भी कुछ देखभाल करना. There is a person inside you that should be treated well by you,
Yeah.
not others. Because if you treat yourself shit, others will treat you like garbage and shit. So you have to you have to
Oh yes.
think like that, and you have to take care of yourself also. In some time, this is nothing about selfishness or anything. This is self love, that you have to have a little bit drop of love to yourself. That's like very good. You
True.
bring the point. Like, it's crazy that we nobody knows that also. Like, we are busy. Some people are doesn't know there is a real you exist inside their mind. So honestly,
Yeah.
like,
And the journey is
yeah,
magical. The journey is really
correct, correct,
magical,
correct,
isn't it?
correct.
So yes, Arun, it was really nice talking to you.
Exactly, exactly.
And I've learned a lot from you. I've learned some crazy terms like psychopaths and one other term. I
Machiavellianism,
don't remember that.
Machiavellianism.
But
You will
yes,
search
I've
dark triads
okay.
in like, you can search that what are the dark triads in psychology. You will get
I
that.
will. Even nowadays, I am into reading
Great,
good
great.
books. So I'm reading some books of
Okay,
Joseph
great,
Murphy.
great, great.
So yes, this is something even I'm
Exactly,
enjoying.
exactly.
But yes, Arun, yes, it was a great talking to you and a great episode and great knowledge that I took, and absolutely हमारे जो viewers हैं, they'll also love, and the message that we wanted to spread. I think it's all about love, compassion, care, and of course
Correct, correct.
spirituality. The the power, the highest power, which is above all of us, is something, and that power is very kind. The power is very very generous. You just need to feel. आपको बस महसूस करना है कि वो जो शक्ति है, वो जो पावर है, वो जो प्यार आपको मिल रहा है, वो प्यार, वो बहुत बहुत, मैं बोलूँगी
Correct.
सैटिस्फाइड है। उसके बाद आपको किसी किसी और के प्यार की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ती है। बट आपको वो उस चीज़ के लिए अपने आप को थोड़ा-सा एफर्ट
Exactly.
लगाना पड़ता है। थोड़ा-सा अपने साथ टाइम बिताना शुरू करें एंड इट विल स्टार्ट
Crazy,
हैपनिंग विद
crazy,
यू।
crazy.
सो
Yes.
येस,
Okay.
दैट्स इट। I hope, Arun, you have a good time and you have a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
life
yeah.
ahead. And we'll stay
Yeah,
in
yeah.
touch.
Thank you once again, Nandini, like, for giving me this opportunity to spread my story and to spread the message. Like, I
Thank
was
you.
dying
It's
to
my
share this
honor.
to someone, and we already we connected too well, and our subject and topic went out
Yeah.
of way, and it was crazy. Like, this 1 hour what we have spent, it was amazing, like to know better about yourself. And I
Yeah.
see the light and energy inside you, like you are too positive and you have done so much thing, you have suffered too much, and you are now rising up like a phoenix, and you are doing something that resonate to people, and you are trying to help people like us who are sad, happy, and want to become a better person. So I'm really, really thankful to have this opportunity to become a part of your YouTube channel. And thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Arun. Thank you. Your words means a lot to me, and even you are doing a great job. You it,
No, no, no.
this is really important. अब ये दिनों में ये चीज spread होनी बहुत जरूरी है क्योंकि people need more positive
Exactly.
people than successful
Exactly.
people. That's what
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
believe.
Exactly. Somebody has to do this thing.
So even I want, yeah. So I wish you all the very best. You go ahead in your life, have your all full faith in God and in yourself, and all the success and abundance comes to you. And may He keep spreading love and healing. And if I can be a helping hand, I would love
Sure,
to do
sure.
that.
Same to you. Like I would say the same thing to you. Like you also will become a successful. Like I honestly don't know like what you studied or anything. Like but whatever you are doing, like this thing, nobody is addressing the thing, the healing of our mind. Nobody does that. People are
Yeah,
so much deeply into their life, they don't do that. So you are finding time to do
yeah.
this thing means like you are taking an effort for the fellow people that you may
Thank
never
you.
meet also. So that is amazing thing that you are doing. I wish all the best in your life, and I hope like you will also like someday will be enlightened and become the best version of
Of
yourself.
course,
Okay, hope that day will come soon.
of course.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
या सो गाइस ये मेरा लास्ट मैसेज है हमारा इस वीडियो का कि नेवर गिव अप ओके लाइफ इज ब्यूटीफुल मैं हमेशा ये कहती हूँ इट्स जस्ट दैट वो टाइम बुरा लगता है मुश्किल लगता है उस टाइम से निकलना ऐसा लगता है कि आप नहीं निकल सकते बट यू कैन बस खुद पर यकीन रखें होप नेवर डाइज फेथ नेवर डाइज लोगों को आपको मजाक बनाना है बनाने दो घर वालों को आपका मजाक बनाना है बनाने दो दोस्तों को बनाने दो वो इतने इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है जितने इम्पोर्टेंट आपकी मेंटल हेल्थ है सो इफ यू आर इन डिप्रेशन इफ यू आर इन एंजाइटी ऐसा कुछ भी आप फेस कर रहे हैं गो गेट अ हेल्प और बिना किसी झिझक के आस्क फॉर हेल्प ओके सो इट लाइफ इज ब्यूटिफुल लाइफ इज अ ब्लेसिंग और इसे एंजॉय करें थैंक यू सो मच प्लीज डू लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब आवर चैनल बाय बाय